Hi, it's Nicole. Today's entry of my reading journal is White Ravens by Owen Sheers. It was published in 2009 by Branwen, an imprint of Poetry Wales Press. White Ravens is a modern retelling of the second branch of Mabinogion, about a woman called Branwen. So first of all, what is Mabinogion? Mabinogion is a collection of myth and folklore from Wales. It was written down around the medieval time in Middle Welsh, and it was translated into English around the 1830s by a woman called Lady Charlotte Guest. And it was about the same time as the Romantic movement. So where did I come across this copy? I got it from my aunt. She's actually my husband's aunt. She lives in Wales. She is Welsh and she speaks Welsh. I think she'd like to introduce me to some Welsh literature, so she sent me this one. Here's how the story starts. An Irishman called Matthew joined the English in the Second World War, and after being wounded in action, he now worked for the government in London. And one day he received an order asking him to go to a Welsh farm to collect and escort a pack of raven chicks back to London. More on that raven chicks later. Matthew went and stayed on the farm with a brother, Ben, and a sister, Branwen, and he starts from there. Here's my favorite scene. After a long travel from London, Matthew arrived at a cottage and at a farm. It was in the middle of nowhere and it was dark and completely still. He knocked and there was no reply. It was getting cold and there was no one around. And then he heard someone sharpening the axe. Before he could move, the crack of light at one side of the door started to widen, laying down a broadening path of yellow lamplight over the grass. The light captured Matthew in its lengthening beam, and then, just as suddenly, went out again as the huge bulk of a man appeared at the door. For a few seconds, the two men stood there like that, facing each other in the darkness. Matthew couldn't stop looking at the axe in the man's hand. Combined with the night's strange ride, the looming mountains all around him, and the silent, dark farmhouse, he stopped his tongue in his mouth. And then we are introduced to my favorite character of the story. "Oh," Ben said, genuinely surprised. "Hello there. Is that you, Mr. O'Connell? How long you been there? Not long, I hope." I love the contrast of the darkness, the giant holding an axe, the door opening in slow motion, and all the suspense. Contrast that to the really friendly and kind man. Now let's talk about those ravens. I really love that historical detail. Matthew's instruction reads like this. The Tower Ravens. 6 ravens have been kept at the Tower of London by royal decree since Charles II was asked to remove the birds at the request of the astronomer royal, Flamsteed John, because they were disturbing his examinations of the heavens. The king, informed of the myth that if the ravens leave the Tower of London, the White Tower, the monarchy, and the Kingdom of Britain would fall, refused Flamsteed's request and issued a royal decree for a full complement of 6 ravens to be kept at the tower at all times. The Royal Observatory was moved to Greenwich. A single handwritten note at the bottom of the photostat completed the order sheet. One surviving raven, restock tower with new chicks from above address, escorted collection and delivery required by order of the PM. Matthew saw the logic behind it. Churchill couldn't allow the tower to go ravenless, not at such a crucial point in the war. I find that fascinating. I thought it was all made up, but no. The Ravens of the Tower of London has their own Wikipedia page. The Tower Ravens are a group of at least 6 captive ravens resident at the Tower of London. Their presence is traditionally believed to protect the crown and the tower. A superstition holds that if the Tower of London ravens are lost or fly away, the crown will fall and Britain with it. In the afterword, the author explained why he chose Branwen's story to do the modern retelling as part of this new Mabinogion series, and also how the story came into being, how he planned it all out, and how he wrote the story. I find that very interesting as well. So this is my first Welsh novel and I really enjoyed it, and it certainly made me want to read more. I have informed my aunt that if she sees any more from this series or any more Welsh fiction, Welsh novels, or even the original Mabinogion stories, I would love to read as well. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next one.